The Republican Party in a nutshell. Oh my goodness. So if you haven't heard, Nikki Haley is out campaigning, all right, all across the country. And we happen to catch her in New Hampshire at one of her events. And she is caught off guard by one of the most simplest questions on the face of the planet. I'm talking about the only question that may be more simple is, what is your name? That's how simple this question was. Now, given the fact that Nikki Haley is running as a Republican, well, this question wasn't so simple. And if you happen to take a guess, it has to do with black people. That's what it has to deal with. And the question was, because she's expecting a question, hey, what's your question? And this individual comes out and says, hey, what was the cause for the Civil War?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you.
Please, what was the cause of the United States Civil War?
Now, I want you to understand, look at the video, bruh. Look at how uncomfortable these mofos were, because you have to understand, Nikki Haley thought she was in a safe space, all right? She saw a whole bunch of white people, old white people definitely vote Republican. So she would thought she was in the company of friends. Having said that, she jokes about, well, you know, don't ask me an easy question now.
Well, don't come with an easy question, right?
To her, that is a difficult question. To anyone with an IQ above room temperature who does not hate black people knows the answer to this question. The answer is obvious, even to a person with a cursory understanding of the Civil War. Now, mind you, Nikki Haley, that's not her name. She had to change her name. When she came to America, you know, the places she said is not racist, and hey, if you just lift yourself up by the bootstraps, I find that very interesting, boo-boo, that you had to change your name in order to fit in. And yet, somehow, you want to say the country isn't racist? Why don't you go back to your original name? And I can't stand the mofo, Vivek Ramabui, but at least he called her out on it. It was like, well, that's not even your name. You changed your name to Nikki Haley. She fumbles her way talking about, well, it was about freedom. That's what it was about. It was about freedom. The government telling you what you can and can't do.
I mean, I think the cause of the Civil War was basically how government was going to run, the freedoms and what people could and couldn't do. What do you think the cause of the Civil War was?
Now, I don't know how much more of a perfect answer that has to be emblematic of the Republican Party in a nutshell. All right. She said that one of the most racist things on the face of the planet. She should be disqualified. If she had said the same thing about as far as Jewish people, it would be game over. All right. She would be ostracized. She would be castigated. She would be sent out into the wilderness. All right. Into the political wasteland. Her campaign would be over. But she, given in the presence of these freaking racists, because that's what they are, because not one person said anything. Not one person had any type of disgust. As a matter of fact, the people were disgusted at the man who asked the question. Think about that.
What was the cause of the United States Civil War?
They were disgusted at the man who asked the question. So when you have to understand that when these other groups of people, I won't say other groups of people, when these individuals, we'll say that, when these individuals of other groups happen to speak on our behalf, as minuscule as it may be, okay, as once in a blue moon as it may be, you have to understand that mofo who spoke out is probably going to be labeled you know what lover. That's what he's going to be labeled. That's exactly what's going to happen. And he'll probably be treated worse than the black people that ostensibly it seemed that he was in favor of for, okay? Because it seemed like he just wanted to take a jab at Nikki to expose the underlying racism of the party and the people she advocates for, that she represents. That's what it seems like. But you know what? Let me live in La La Land, okay? Let me believe in a fairy tale that, hey, this person was taking a stand and showing a partnership and at least an ally for Black Americans. You know, let me have my little fantasy, okay? Don't shoot it down, all right? Now, anyways, I want you to understand that that's what the racist right says. They want to say that it has to do with the freedoms, you know, and you know what? Slavery didn't build the country. You know, it was the Industrial Revolution and all these talking points. But once you start going beneath the surface of these talking points, they're confronted with reality. They're faced with unfortunate truths to them. And that is, these mofos were so racist, so diabolical, that slavery had been going on for quite some time, but they made it racial. They were so hateful, so greedy, just a wicked lineage, that they made it racial. And they went to war. Listen to me. They went to war because they didn't want to free Black Americans. That's how evil and wicked these mofos were. And anyone who says that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, you don't know what you're talking about. This man went to war over the Union. That's what he went to war for. Do you understand? People trying to constantly rewrite history. They try to whitewash history in order to make themselves feel better. And instead of this concept of what they want to say, white guilt, how about you don't be guilty? How about that? You want to know the quickest way to not being guilty? What did the scripture say? What y'all constantly say? Something about, I can't remember. I just can't recall. The truth shall set you free. That's correct. The truth shall set you free. So if you're just truthful about the history of this country, maybe you wouldn't have that white guilt. If you were just truthful about the history of this country, maybe your group of people wouldn't be on the verge of extinction, okay? Because your population, your birth rates are dwindling by the second. Maybe you wouldn't be in the position that you're in currently, which is bye-bye. Bye-bye. That's what you're in, okay? It goes to show you who she represents. It goes to show you where they align when it comes to Black Americans, because it gets even better. She finishes the video because they're going in some, I don't know, she's asking a question, he's saying something. She says, what do you want me to say about slavery?
What do you want me to say about slavery?
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Bruh, let's replace slavery with the Holocaust. Imagine a Republican presidential candidate saying, what do you want me to say about the Holocaust? Think about that, bruh. Think about that. That, man, the anti-blackness, it's too much. It's too damn high, all right? It's too damn high. What do you want me to say about slavery? Can you just denounce it? Can you say it was bad, it was wrong? Can you say, I don't know, at least do a spin on it. Say that, hey, this country saw that it was a great wicked that was happening, and the courage and the sincerity of Abraham Lincoln set the slaves free, that he went to war over trying to free Black people. Say something, bro, right? Say something, spin it however you want to spin it. But then to say, what do you want me to say about slavery? That is a wild ass statement. And notice the audience. Not one person blinks an eye. All the animus and resentment is on the white man who asked the question. I want you to understand what type of evil and the lineage of evil we are dealing with. These people are wicked. They come, as their own scriptures say, to kill, steal, and destroy. And that's exactly what they're doing. And when you have a person like a Nikki Haley who comes out and says stuff like that, it's really just fuel for the fire. It's really to let you know what you are dealing with. They will rewrite the history to make themselves feel better. They will try and boycott movies that they don't like in order to make themselves feel better. Everything that they're doing has to revolve around what? Their fragility. That's what it has to deal with. So when it comes to this political ball game, the Republican Party would rather destroy themselves. They would rather implode than do some outreach for the Black American vote. That's what you're dealing with. They would rather destroy themselves. Destroy themselves. Reach out to anyone and everyone but black people because they understand that is not who they are for, nor have they been in quite some time. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, look, she has a point, all right? It has to do with freedoms, all right? It has to do with the government overreaching and infringing upon our rights, okay? That's what I'm all about. Or if you believe, listen, this has nothing to do with no freedom, infringing upon rights, none of that. If you want to take that talking point, then talk about guns. Go ahead. By all means, go about your, hey, shall not be infringed. Miss me with this nonsense when it comes to the Civil War and talking about, oh, it has to do with the government infringing upon people. Are you crazy? How are you that anti-black? Not even anti-black, but ahistorical. So you hate not only black people, but you hate the country that you're in? What do they say about people who hate the country? Don't you leave? Isn't that what they say? Lord, what sad times. Anyways, if you happen to disagree with the video, you're more than welcome to call in during disagreement days, which are typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we duke it out. Either or, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. What do you think? Do you think Nikki Haley's in the right, or do you think she's just nothing more than an anti-black puppet of the establishment? Feel free to share and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.
What do you want me to say about slavery?